Hi boys and girls, welcome back to the farm. As you can see, night has fallen on the farm and our lesson today is all about this. The moon. Come on. I'm sure many of you, like me, have many questions about the moon above the farm. I think we should go and try and answer some of them now. Why does the moon appear different shapes in the sky? We can conduct a simple experiment to explain why the moon can look different in the sky, different shapes at different times of the month. To do this experiment, we're going to use the light in my sitting room. I've taken the light shade off. That's going to be the sun. My head is going to be the earth. And I've stuck a school pencil into a little polystyrene white ball. And this is going to represent the moon. As we know, the moon orbits around the earth like so, all the way around and round the other side. What we're going to do is we're going to show you why the moon would appear different shapes in the sky at different times of the month. Let's have a look. If you have looked into the night sky, you would have noticed that the moon appears to change shape each night. Some nights, the moon might look like a narrow crescent, and other nights the moon might look like a bright circle. On other nights, you might not even be able to see the moon at all. The different shapes of the moon that we see at different times of the month are called the moon's phases. The shape of the moon isn't actually changing throughout the month. However, our view of the moon does change. The moon does not produce its own light. There's only one source of light in our solar system, and that is the sun. Without the sun, our moon would be completely dark. What you might have referred to as moonlight is actually just sunlight reflecting off the moon's surface. The sun's light comes from one direction and it always illuminates or lights up one half of the moon, the side of the moon that is facing the sun. The other side of the moon is dark. On Earth, our view of the illuminated part of the moon changes each night, depending on where the moon is in its orbit or path around the Earth. When we have a full view of the completely illuminated side of the moon, that phase is known as a full moon. Of course, when we look at the sky, there are times like this where cloud actually covers the moon, as you can see here. What size is the moon?
Hi kids, how you doing? Just thought you might like to see this. If we were to shrink the Earth and the moon by the same amount, this is what they would look like, only a lot further apart. So we'll show you in a minute, in comparison to the real distance there, how far apart they would be.
How far away is the moon from Earth?
Hi kids. Right, I'm going to show you now how far in feet scaled down the moon is away from the Earth. So I'll put the Earth down here. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be. I'll put the Earth there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to step it out, and this is it scaled down. So it's 23 feet 9 inches on a scale scaled down. So I'll use my feet because it just so happens they're exactly 12 inches long, which is a foot. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 9 inches. There we go. So that's how far, in reality, the moon is away from the Earth. It's a lot further in real distance, but that's basically it scaled down.
In real life, This is on average 252,088 miles away. Amazing. Why does the moon have craters? Firstly, the moon has absolutely no erosion because it has no atmosphere. That means it has no wind, no weather, and certainly has no plants. Almost nothing can remove marks on its surface once they are made. The dusty footprints of astronauts who once walked on the moon are still there today, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And the moon is constantly being hit by lots of different things in space, like space rocks. The moon may attract fewer bits of space rock than the Earth, but the moon itself is powerless to do anything about it after it's been hit. Once something has hit the moon, that event becomes frozen in time. We're now going to undertake some kitchen science to discover why things hitting the moon's surface leaves a lasting impression on it and create craters. All we need is a plate or dish, some flour, some sprinkles, and some Bisto or hot chocolate powder. We have also made some asteroids or space rocks from some rolled up tinfoil. You can put a wee pebble inside if you wish. Sprinkle some flour evenly over your plate or dish. Over the top of the flour, you need to add on some sprinkles evenly over the surface. Finally, add your gravy granules or hot chocolate powder over the top of your sprinkles. And then you can start hitting the moon's surface with your asteroids and space rocks. What you'll notice is that now what we're left with is craters as if you would see on the moon's surface. These damaged areas where the impact has been the greatest. Can people visit the moon? The simple answer is yes. They can visit the moon. The first astronaut to step foot on the moon was a man called Neil Armstrong in 1969 with his famous quote, "One small step for man, one giant step for mankind." How does the moon affect things around us? To answer this question, we've had to come to Girvan, because high and low tides are caused by the moon. The moon's gravitational pull generates something called tidal force, and the tidal force causes Earth and its water to bulge out on the side closest to the moon and the side furthest from the moon. These bulges of water are high tides. Amazing. What cool facts can we discover about the moon? The sun and moon are not the same size. From Earth, both the sun and moon can look the same size. This is because the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but is also 400 times closer to Earth. The moon is Earth's only permanent natural satellite. The moon was created when a rock the size of Mars slammed into Earth shortly after the solar system began forming about 4.5 billion years ago. The moon is actually drifting away from the Earth around 3.8 centimetres from our planet every year. The moon has quakes too. They're not called earthquakes, but moonquakes. They are caused by the gravitational influence of the Earth. Unlike quakes on Earth that only last a few minutes at most, moonquakes can last up to half an hour. I'd love it if you could do some research on the moon and do me some art and some fact files all based on the moon. Bye bye, boys and girls. See you again tomorrow.